unhappy with how Te Papa's punk culture exhibition represented punk in Wellington and New Zealand in general, and thought that they'd basically taken a very cheap and easy option out and missed an opportunity to include a section of Wellington youth that spans quite a number of generations now and quite a lot of people. And that was our main impetus, I suppose.
In terms of, like, for example, the origins of Thistle Hall shows and the fact that we've had it at Thistle Hall, it's been like quite important for us. But it has been quite an ordeal to try and set up this exhibition here because of their But it's hopefully just to say that, you know, it's just made up of people who are just around Wellington still, and that it's not sort of, you know, so much about heroes or celebrities or anything like that. It's just, making something work from, you know, just something quite simple and humble, I guess.
We've scaled this year's Punk Fest down so that it's just local bands, and we're holding it at a dodgy underground event place, which we're not allowed to properly advertise, but those in the know will know about. And I think that's going to have a good range of bands. Flesh Device are going to play, Wellington's longest running punk band, been around for 20 so years. And right up to current day, bands have only been around for a few months.
How it exists in more of an underground sense is the whole cut and paint very immediate, and it kind of reflects the whole sort of not temporariness but sort of changing nature of a scene.
It's all been positive so far. No one said anything bad yet. Generally people are quite, as we expected, quite enthusiastic on exhibitions and things that are to do with the local community and telling stories about people in Wellington itself rather than just hearing the same tired, regurgitated stories from overseas about things.
Yeah, that was cool. Punk Fest was really good. I think it was neat. We had this exhibition coincide with it because Punk Fest is normally like a national thing and we have lots of people from all over the country, but because of problems with venues and stuff, we had to downscale it, so we just have Wellington bands. So it was just like a big spread of just as many different sorts of Wellington punk bands as possible. About 11 bands, 2 shows, and a market in this exhibition, and it was really good. They played on the Friday night, and they played with Brubeck, Padded Cell, and a few others, and it was really good. It was like something for everyone. Ooh, it's hard because I think a few people were sort of a little bit worried that they were dressed right to come through the exhibition door or something, but actually there's been a big variety of ages. We've had lots of mums and dads, and we've had lots of kids and punks who've grown up and had kids, and we've had high school age, 14, 15-year-olds, as well as some older, more established people who may or may not have, been involved with the scene, or knew people who were.
At the moment, all the hard copy and the digital files is being stored at the National Library after the show, where they're giving us enough money to put an online web-based version of the exhibition up. If somebody else wants to provide us with lots of money for a bigger exhibition, that would be great, but we haven't pursued that yet.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I think we've had a few people who sort of stayed here for the whole morning or something, just reading and observing the video and sort of finding out a little bit more, taking their time. It sort of adds a bit of a different dimension to the exhibition as well. I think it has kind of opened people's eyes a bit as to, this whole emphasis on a community, that it's very, it's a feasible thing. That you don't end up with, there is a group of people dressed up and aligning themselves with something called punk, but it's not really a prerequisite to get things happening, I think. Just because Wellington, the whole of New Zealand is quite a small, close-knit that things like this is kind of just being a little bit of a microcosm of what can happen just, on any sort of level, depending on where people want to take it.